Writs issued for 3rd Bougainville General Elections. PNG ready to help rebuild Vanuatu. And awards up for grabs for PNG sportsmen and women.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Thank you for joining me. This is Saturday's news. The Bougainville House of Representatives concluded its final sitting this week with the issuing of writs for the 3rd House of Representatives general election. Speaker Andrew Meriki, while issuing the writs, pointed out that this year's election is crucial as it will determine how the Autonomous Region's referendum is conducted. At the same time, the Speaker was satisfied with preparatory work carried out by the Bougainville Electoral Commission. Fabian Hakelitz has more.
Under Section 107(2) of the Bougainville Constitution, Mr. Meriki issued the ABG General Election writs. The Speaker had confidence on the Bougainville Electoral Commission in delivering a successful and democratic election.
As we all want to see, a formation of a truly democratic, autonomous Bougainville government in June 2015.
Acting Bougainville Electoral Commissioner George Manu said the election is on target and will deliver as per the national and autonomous Bougainville government's expectations.
Monday, 30th of March is when nominations commences, and we close at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, 1st of April.
An appeal to Bougainvillians is to cooperate with electoral officials for a fair and safe election. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News, Boka.
Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Rimping Pato presented 5 million kina to the government of Vanuatu for emergency relief efforts and reconstruction assistance. Minister Pato said PNG stands ready to work with the people of Vanuatu and restore services and losses suffered by the destruction of Cyclone Pam. A memorandum of understanding was also signed with the Vanuatu government on cooperation on higher and technical education. The MOU paves way for 100 spaces for Vanuatu students to study in PNG tertiary institutions. The agreement also extends to military and security training. The MOU and presentation followed the Special Melanesian Special Spearhead Group Ministers meeting this week. You're watching Saturday's news. More local stories after the break. Welcome back to the news. Training for radiographers to carry out computed tomography or CT scans at the Bougainville General Hospital has begun. 2 clinical staff from the hospital conducted their training under the supervision of an Australian expert.
Edwin Tikwa and Jean Kimwitz are undergoing training under the supervision of Australia's radiographer Lindsay Hunt. This week, Bougainville General Hospital conducted its first scanning operations using the CT scan with the first 50 patients. The CT scan was purchased by the Bougainville Regional MP's office at 1.7 million kina under the Provincial Service Improvement Program funds. According to Regional MP Joe Lera, PSIP funds focuses on improving and expanding health services under the modernization program. While health remains a priority for Bougainville, with the CT scan, it cuts cost and time. Bougainville General Hospital is a level 4 health facility with a 3rd CT scan machine. However, specialists are needed to operate the machine before its commissioning. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News, Buka.
By the end of this year, Colgate-Palmolive's Bright Smiles, Bright Future campaign should have covered 150,000 adults and children. Into its 5th year, the campaign has educated thousands of Papua New Guineans on good oral health practices. This year's campaign was launched in Port Moresby today. The campaign is run in conjunction with the Department of Health by providing training for staff to educate school students as well as adults. General Manager of Colgate-Palmolive PNG, John Wood, says there is a huge task ahead to educate all Papua New Guineans. He said this year the company will spend over 500,000 kina on promoting this campaign.
Country. We're aiming to cover off well in excess of 200,000 people right across the country.
Bougainville Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Kamwai, has called on the Papua New Guinea Correctional Service to seriously look into the issue of overcrowding prisons. Mr. Kamwai made these appeal while responding to questions raised by EMTV as to why convicted prisoners were being housed in police cell lockups.
Most police cell lockups in the autonomous region of Bougainville have become more like the second correctional service prison. It has housed convicted prisoners and remandee, a responsibility of the PNG Correctional Service. In Bokan ongoing issued a similar story to Arawa because the backward prison is full. MTV News spoke with Assistant Commissioner for Police, Paul Kamwai, who said it's inhuman because number of inmates have exceeded the requirement.
But we still have those problems. We still have a few remandees here at the Buka police station. And I guess we will continue to have those issues with the overcrowding until if and when we can extend or expand into central Bougainville and south Bougainville with the CS facilities.
While police are flexible in housing inmates, Kamwai says it's dangerous and risky for the communities, and the Bougainville Police Service is doing all it can.
It has been quite an expense to look after them, and we need to get them out as well for them to work out of the where they are.
For monitoring and control, police are trying to reach an agreement to post CS officers to cell lockups. But when this issue will be solved, Kamwai says it's something both the national and autonomous Bougainville governments must consider if it's serious enough on law and order as a pillar of the Bougainville Peace Agreement. Fabian Hakalitz, National MTV News, Boka.
You're watching National MTV News. Trukai Sports is next. We will cross live to our reporter Jeremy Mogi at the 23rd SP Sports Awards night at Holiday Inn. That's after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Now this evening we'll see the staging of the 23rd SP Sports Awards, recognizing the sporting achievements of our sportmen and women for the year 2014. Now our very own Jeremy Mogi is there at the Holiday Inn covering the awards ceremony. Jeremy, a very good evening to you. What's the atmosphere like over there at the ceremony?
Hey Mirabel, well the atmosphere here has been one of real excitement actually. Only recently the guests have just started moving in about 20 minutes ago in general, and they're all coming in having their pictures taken. You know, we've got the relay torch, that is the oil search Pacific Games relay torch that's been brought in, and every single one of the guests that are coming in, well, they've been taking a bit of a shot alongside each of the guests that are here. The legendary Rocky Road is the one taking the photo, so it's actually been really exciting right now.
Jeremy, the 4 big awards, I understand, will be announced later tonight. Who are the nominees?
Well, the awards themselves, you know, the first award well, the first of the big awards actually that will be coming about would of course be for the National Performance of the Year, and that award has been given to recognize the performances of athletes that are locally based here within the country. And we've got Anthony Oike for boxing. We also have Team Morabe for their performances in cricket. And the third person that's in that particular category is George Yamak. Now there's a very special story about him. You know, he actually flew all the way from the Western Province by himself just to take part in the PNG Games last year. And he ended up taking a gold medal afterwards. The next big category will be the Team of the Year award, and there's a couple of strong nominees there. We've got the Hebo PNG Barramundis, as they were called last year, and they cracked the top 6, eventually finishing off the year with one-day international status. From then on, we have, of course, the SP Hunters, who have been topping the charts down in Australia in the Interest Super Cup, and then we have the MVIL Mosquitoes. Now they round out the Team of the Year. Moving on, the next big category, the second last one of the night, that is the SP athlete, the Women Athlete of the Year, and the nominees that are there. We have Abigail Terra Pisa. Now she actually started off in the junior female category last year. She's now being promoted, so to speak. Alongside her, a person that needs no introduction, Dika Tor for her performances in the Commonwealth Games, and of course Toya Whistle in athletics. And finally finishing off for the SP Sport Awards for tonight, we will have a very special lineup in the men's. We start off with Stephen Curry for weightlifting. He was always in contention, especially after his performances in Glasgow. And then two others. Now this is where it becomes very, very special, Miriba. We've got Israel Eliab, captain of the SP Hunters, and he's in a team. And then we also have Lega Siaka, who is with the Barramundis in cricket. So that rounds out the top 4 categories for tonight's SP Sport Awards.
Jeremy, I see you've got the rugby league legend there, Mal Meninga. How does it feel to be a part of the Sports Awards this year?
Yes, I have right here with me a legendary coach, in fact, Mal Meninga.
Hey, Jeremy.
Mal, thank you very much for your time this evening. Tonight, in general, how do you feel about being here?
Honoured and privileged. I know this is the only sporting event, really, awards tonight that we have in PNG. So obviously the sponsors have been fantastic and behind it all, and it's a privilege to be here and be the guest speaker.
Now, what will be one of the messages that you'd really be delivering tonight?
I've already talked to the finalists, just to congratulate them on their achievements through the year, so they've already been a success, regardless if you win tonight or you don't. It's been a great year for everyone involved. My advice is there's no shortcuts really in life, and you've got to make sure that you work hard and you persist and to realise your dreams. So, that's about it. You've got to try and keep things fairly simple and make sure you keep on focusing on what you want in life.
Now, Israel Eliab, you coached him last year with the Kumuls, and he's also a nominee.
Yeah. Oh, I think he deserves it as well. He's had a fantastic year, obviously captain of the SP Hunters. They're going really well again this year as well. So in the inaugural year last year, they did extremely well. Like you said, led the competition for a number of weeks and faded at the back end of the year. But, that's a really tough competition, and, they did extremely well last year.
Now, finally, Mal, State of Origin, it's going to be a big one, massive one. The Blues took it out last year.
Yeah.
But the game's moving on to Melbourne for Game 2.
Yeah, it is. They're home of the AFL and obviously cricket as well. There's a big World Cup cricket final there tomorrow as well in MCG. So I know the players are looking forward to it, and the teams are playing in front of something like 100,000 people. So yeah, no, it's going to be great. Most Origin series are tightly contested, and looking forward again this year.
Well, there you have it, Miriba, the legendary Mal Meninga. Now, just a reminder, there will be highlights shown throughout the night, and it's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jeremy. That's Jeremy Mogi out there at the SP Sports Awards at the Holiday Inn. Now, moving on, the Pukpuks have earned a spot in the quarterfinals of the Hong Kong Sevens qualifiers after topping the pool matches. Placed in Pool F against Russia, South Korea and Tunisia, the Pukpuks walked away with all 3 wins. Their quarterfinals appearance is a welcome change after a below-par performance in the recent Wellington Sevens.
The Pukpuks have bounced back from an overwhelming performance in Wellington to top Pool F in the Hong Kong Sevens qualifier. Expectations of them heading into the qualifiers were simple, and the Pukpuks stepped up in their first pool match against Tunisia in a 19-0 win.
Valley with the cut and the dummy. They didn't stand for it. Now lovely line run by Clement. He came running from the south stand.
South Korea tested the Pukpuks' strength in the second pool match. The Pukpuks proved to be a force to be reckoned with, snatching a win from the South Koreans 21 points to 19.
And they've come back again to Clement. Turns it back in to the big man. Buckler Morris gets his second try. Takes it close to the post. They should get the lead with this one from the conversion.
And rounding up the pool matches, the Pukpuks overcame a strong Russian outfit 26 points to 17 to top the pool, earning a spot to play in the qualifiers quarterfinals against Uruguay. Scholar Sengi, National, MTV Sports.
And that report ends our sports segment. The weather details up next. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.